Hello and welcome everybody to Tuesday Night Hype. My name is Bloody and I'm joined here by my very handsome co-caster, Ginge. How you doing, Ginge?
Doing great. It's nice to be here.
Good, good. Ginge, if you may or may not know, is a roster player of Vicious Syndicate, actually a new addition. Possibly our team captain, we're not positive.
I'm new, but I'm the most important.
Yes, by far the most important. Compared to all the weathered veterans and all their accomplishments, they are nothing to you, Ginge. So let's see. We're gonna have Phenone with Phenone with his Paladin, Mage, and Druid versus Chloebelle and her Druid, Paladin, and Warlock. Now, Chloebelle's Warrior is banned, and Phenone's Warlock is banned. How are you feeling about these matchups here?
I like that Phenone banned the Warrior. I think that was the right call. And then on the other side of things, I think that Chloe banned the right deck too. So it looks like they both did good in the ban phase.
Good.
I think that I'm going to go with Chloe as the favorite to win here.
Why? Because Warlock?
She has Warlock, and I feel like Warlock's really strong here. I don't actually know the variations of the classes, so I mean maybe the variations of the classes will change my mind. But I think that just based on the three decks each of them have, Chloe is probably the favorite.
I was gonna say if that is Reno Lock, Chloe might not be that favored, and it might be because Warrior could be like Control Warrior and then Reno. But on the other hand, it could just be Patron instead of.
We just got the notification that is Zoo.
That is Zoo. Okay then. Well, then it seems as though Phenone's lineup is a little on the less favored side compared to Chloe. But let's jump right in. We have Phenone with Secret Paladin and Chloebelle with Druid. And neither of them have a starting hand that anyone would ever want.
What has Phenone? Did he mulligan yet? No, I don't think so.
Okay, so Phenone has a chance.
But Chloebelle's hand is looking pretty slow. But, you know, an Innervator or Wall Growth, like if she just does Wall Growth in the first two turns here, this hand's pretty solid.
Okay. Oh, well, you know what? Shade is also one other thing. I mean, you could just always hero power something and then Shade. It's not the best curve, it's not the curve you want, but it's something. It's not like you're full of 5-drops and you have nothing to play. On the other hand, Phenone has actually mustered up somewhat of a decent starting curve.
It's not terrible.
Not the worst, not the best by far.
It was looking,
having a Mysterious Challenger is decent, at least. So when you get to turn 6, as long as the Druid doesn't have BGH, you're in pretty good form. Throwing down a well-met. Nice.
He's doing Secret Paladin right already. And then the emotes.
Yeah, that's the only way to Secret Paladin. The only M's are B's. Only BM. Oh,
I agree with not pointing out the secret there. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, that kind of doesn't feed your curve all too well. And then if they throw down an Aspirant, you could always coin Coghammer. Chloebelle did draw the BGH, which is actually very, very useful for the later situation. Let's see. So Phenone, if you were Phenone, would you muster or would you Coghammer at this point? I'm leaning towards muster.
I think I would muster just because she can't swipe you like the following turn. And then, I mean, I don't know what you would really do on turn 3. I mean, like, you could throw down Coghammer on turn 3 after you coin out Muster, but that just seems weak.
It seems Phenone did hover over that Redemption. I mean, there's a chance that Phenone could just throw down the Redemption, make their Secret Keeper into a 2/3. Because Chloebelle... That's the thing. Chloebelle hit the face with the hero power, which kind of projects a few things. It projects that Chloebelle has a turn 3 play. And also shows that Chloebelle doesn't have a Wrath or a Living Roots, because I feel like she would have done that, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this definitely gives Phenone like a more flexible hand, because now they can muster, and then if they want, they could coin the Belcher, or they could wait until 5 and then coin Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
This hand, I'd probably want to, like, I'd hopefully draw like a Shredder and then just perfect curve, or skip Belcher and go straight into Challenger on turn 5.
Yeah, I'm always I'm always at such a moral at such moral odds as to whether I want to save my coin for my Challenger or whether I want to 5-drop. But now the curve seems pretty solidified. I mean, you just throw down a 3-mana weapon, you coin out a Belcher, you throw down another Belcher, and then bam, turn 6.
Belcher boys.
Belcher boys. Alrighty. I mean, Chloebelle could just throw down an easy silence, but do you pop the shade? I want to assume no?
It seems not worth it, because if that's get down, you feel bad about yourself, right? Like, then they can just trade their weapon into shade, and then you don't really get anything out of the shade at all.
I agree. That makes a lot of sense.
I must safeguard the
Feels bad, man, for Phenone. About just starting to build up your Secret Keeper and having it get shut down.
I mean, coin Belcher into Challenger is pretty sick, though, so I don't know how bad I actually feel for him.
Alright, that's a decent point. Do you swing? And I guess not. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ginge is actually a very, very seasoned Druid player. Despite not having too much experience with the game itself, having only begun in around July and only have begun playing competitively in August, Ginge probably has at least 1,000 ranked Druid wins.
That is not true at all, actually. I don't even have Golden Druid, but the last 2 months I've been loving my good old Brokeback deck. I don't play Shade of Naxxramas in it, though, so these situations are a little unfamiliar.
Yeah. What I was trying to say was Ginge is quite the Druid expert. No one really prides themselves on Druid games, but Ginge seems to enjoy it.
You know, if you're winning, then you're doing it right. You know, how can people argue with you?
Many people can argue with you. Are you kidding me? That's how Secret Paladin came to be. Hey guys, I'm winning, so it's okay.
Secret Paladin is a little bit less, or a little bit more newbie-ish than Druid. Come on.
Okay, yeah, I guess once in a while you have to make a decision of which innervate to play, right?
Which force to combo them with.
It's a tough life, it really is. Chloebelle doesn't actually have an immediate response, like offensive response, but setting up the 4/6 taunt is never a bad thing. Phenone now must decide between a keeper or just playing a Belcher on curve. I think either would be reasonable, but it would make sense to just, play on curve, right? I feel like you could even trade your everything into this 4/6 and just
I think I would probably just keep her the claw here.
Mm-hmm.
If Chloe wants to play Emperor, then she has to kill the Belcher if she's going to attack that turn, right? So he gets a nice value trade, and then the Belcher gets redemptioned. I mean, I think I'm fine with my Belcher getting redemptioned.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wasn't actually taking into consideration the fact that redemption was up there. That makes sense. Phenone seems to be in a pretty solid position.
Oh, I don't know if this is how I would have gone about it, though. Well, maybe that's better. That's actually probably better. But now the Shade can just value trade. That seems worse. Oh, but then that makes him pop the Shade, I guess.
He does.
This was actually better. I was thinking
Shade could get taken down by Consecrate if you decide not to Challenger.
I was thinking of just killing the Druid of the Claw with the Belcher, but this actually seems stronger.
Yeah, that makes sense. Chloebelle, now with one of many innervates that we will probably see tonight, has the choice between an early boom or just a nice and ripe Thaurissan. What are you thinking on that front?
Thinking that I'd boom and make the roots, just because it's really strong against Phenone's Challenger here. Oh.
That would make sense. Oh, testing for for Noble Sack, it seems.
Oh, that feels bad. Wow.
Right.
Oh man.
Oh,
and it comes back to life. Ooh.
Oh, golly. That's unfortunate. Definitely a reasonable line. Not unreasonable by any stretch, because Phenone Phenone didn't really test the waters enough, and I suppose it's never too early or late to assume it's Noble Sack. And Phenone draws an Avenge, so, as long as Phenone just draws a few more bricks, Chloebelle can make a comeback However, in the face of Mysterious Challenger, darn. See, Mysterious Challenger seems good until you look at the board state and you think about just how useful Consecrate could be here.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like she or he is just in a bad spot here. Just because if he goes with Cons, then this Boom just takes over the board, and then the BGH will probably get to see its value on the Challenger the following turn, and then, you know, you kind of just have nothing.
Yeah.
But if he does just slam Challenger, then, like, Emperor gets to live for, like, a million years, and then this hand will get massively discounted, so I think that's bad, too.
I agree. Now, of course, you got to punch your Belcher into the Tharson. You can't really go the other way. That just wouldn't make too much sense.
I think I'd do Keeper and okay. Wow.
Interesting.
I don't agree with that one.
There might be some sort of other motivation, so there's never a reason to call it necessarily bad. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that one because the other line would have kept both your minions alive.
The other line also would have let this Avenge go off now before you drop the Challenger.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
That was. Maybe Phenone had assumed that the Avenge would go off onto the 1/2 after the 3/1 died? Not sure, but this is quite a favorable spot for BGH, and it seems as though just through that small encounter, and also, you know, through Chloebelle being able to throw down a nice discounted.
Dr. Boom.
Tharson. Well, yeah.
Old Dr. Boom, right on time here.
Good doctor. I mean, actually, one turn early somehow. Turn 7, you're floating a mana with Dr. Boom.
Even got to toss down Living Roots there.
You could have. Yeah. Well, what do you do as Phenone? Oh, that is what you do. Okay. I mean, if Boombots are complete duds, then this is a great play.
Oh, that Wrath is so bad for Phenone. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Now there's just no hope of this board living. But the good thing for Phenone here is that these Boombots will probably get wiped off the board this turn, which will make that Tyrion a little bit stronger. And then Chloe draws for a Keeper, but she doesn't get it there.
Yeah.
That's kind of unfortunate.
It's not terrible. I mean, from Boombot probability, I feel like one of these should kill the 4/3. Or just hit face twice. That might be a thing.
Hey, what?
My question is why you wouldn't test the waters with another Boombot.
Yeah.
If anything, you could have drawn one with the Wrath.
I really wish that Boombot would have either somehow stayed on the field there, which wasn't really possible, or the Wrath would have been saved, because now you don't really have a way to deal with this Tyrion other than, okay, well, she drew a Wrath, but if she hadn't drawn that Wrath, then she would have had to, like, swipe the face in order to deal with this Tyrion in a way that only gave it one
Savage Roar. Okay. Wrath for 1. And draws a nice Ancient of War. Okay. Now there are a few lines here. You could always swipe the face and trade the 5/5. You could just trade your Boom and then play another Ancient of Lore, which sets up a decent board for you.
That's what I would do.
And also a good chance for combo. Let's see. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Yes,
hit the face.
I would agree. But Chloebelle was at 12 health, so not too unreasonable to want to heal there.
I think that in this situation that she's in here, it's hard to lose. So I think that her healing the face is fine. Like, I don't think it really matters either way. And then she's still going to get the BGH here, just so she can just swipe the Juggler, and then the BGH guarantee goes off one Challenger, and then she can't lose from there.
I agree. Well, Force of Nature is drawn. That's super duper elite. But either way.
Can she just kill him? No, she can't. Yes, no.
No, yes, she can.
Yes, she can. She can.
Yes,
okay, cool.
She can just
Great.
swipe Savage Roar. Well, swipe the face, Savage Roar, hit with face first. Okay, I believe she spots it. Seems like it.
It does.
Yeah. Alrighty, there's the Savage Roar. And it'll trade into the 6/6, right, Ginge?
For some extended BM, don't even kill it. Oh, I guess if you swipe the face and then trade into it, then it dies.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, that is game 1 by Chloebelle. And, wow, surprise here, she won with her Druid. Interesting.
Classic
I did not
broke
think
back.
Brokeback was even that good. What?
But it was against Paladin though, so it is a little impressive. That matchup generally isn't amazing.
Yeah, definitely
Especially
some
with
things
its
didn't
slow
necessarily
hand.
go Phenone's way. Yeah, Phenone had a mini bot at some point in the early game. This could have gone entirely differently. Phenone is still left with his Paladin Mage and Druid versus Chloebelle's Paladin and Warlock. Now, Chloebelle is slowly zeroing in on that Druid of Phenone because now she's holding what I assume is Secret Paladin, which is good against Druid, and also Zoolock. So I'd feel pretty happy here if I had gotten my Druid out of the way.
Generally, when I win the first game, I'm also pretty happy.
Okay, well that makes sense. I'm talking matchup-wise, but okay, Ginge. Let's see.
I feel like Chloe's in a good spot.
Yes.
Oh, but now we get to find out what this mage is.
And it's Freeze Mage versus Zoo.
Wow, that changes all of it. Oh man, okay.
Yes, I agree. I mean,
That's a lot better for Phenone than that being Tempo Mage.
I agree.
Oh.
Especially with the Druid out of the way. Now, as the Warlock here, it is my assumption that you win this game only if you just get a nut curve, and then you also get a perfect Lotheb to keep them from cleaving. Am I right, Ginge?
That is true. I think this owl is pretty significant too because it can silence the first Doomsayer. So I might consider keeping that in the Imp Gang. Okay. I don't know. I might have tried to keep that owl just because I feel like it's really important to have.
I gotcha.
Maybe not the Imp Gang though.
Yeah,
Kind of
it's
surprised me
something
that the
that
owl wasn't kept.
well, maybe Chloebelle recognized that she was going first, and possibly
one
wanted
drop.
to get out. Yeah, get that one drop out. Now, Phenone is looking at a decent hand when it comes to maybe something slower, but there's no removal there. At least there's a Scientist, and that's
I mean,
not just...
there is a Frostbolt, which is a removal, and there's Scientist, which is like extremely important, especially if it gets Barrier. It can really slow down Chloe here.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm a greedy player. I don't like using my Frostbolts for clear, but then again, I don't like playing correctly, so...
Just gonna start tossing it, just right here, just Frostbolt to the dome.
Yeah, no, this is where you start pushing them over the edge. No, I usually just prefer to let the board build up and get a big old clear Aroni in, but that's not necessarily an option most of the time, so that makes sense.
Not actually sure why Chloe traded there. Just because I feel like if she goes face, the Peddler gets traded into with Scientist anyways. And her trading there makes it so that the Secret comes out of the deck before Phenone draws.
Yeah.
So actually I think I probably would have just gone face there instead of trading.
Definitely it's always a better or preferred move to have them pop their Scientist on their turn after they've already drawn. You're absolutely right, and that's not just for Mage. That's for everyone because you know having a dud of a Secret in your hand is never a good feel. I'm thinking about it. Can you imagine if they throw Secrets into another class? Maybe 4-mana Secrets, like Power Secrets. Maybe they give them to like priests or something.
Well, that seems like bad. I don't know.
Well, what if the Secrets are really good? I don't know.
Well, what are the secrets then? I can't just tell you whether I can't give you my opinion on unpredicted cards. Like, what?
Okay. Let's see. What if it's a 4-mana priest card? When your minion...
You're digging yourself a hole by making it priest.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
You could be easier on yourself here.
Alright, well, what class do you think? I don't think Druid deserves Secrets. Although maybe with the missing combo, Secrets is what it needs.
Warlock.
Warlock Secrets. Alrighty.
Could really sell me on a Warlock secret here.
Let's get the old noggin working here. A Warlock Secret. So it'll have to be 4 mana, right? Because we already have the 1 mana, 2 mana, and 3 mana secrets. So this is gonna be a big one, right? When your minion dies, no, when a demon dies, summon 2 of the same demon.
Oh, it's a duplicate except they go straight on the board.
Straight on the board,
Jeez.
only on demons.
That's tempting. Am I getting something that makes it so that this thing pops out, or do I have to play from my hand every time?
Play from your hand every time. It's a good secret.
Not worth it.
Not worth it?
Not worth it.
You play that, you play Mal'Ganis, and you say not worth it?
But I'm skipping turn 4 for it.
Yeah, but it's the reward, Ginge.
I mean, no. Nope. Not today.
Not today, maybe another day. I don't know, that curves really well into Doomguard. Skip turn 4 and then turn 5. Just screw all the consequences. I'm getting 3 of these for 9 mana.
So Phenone just Frost Nova'd and then pinged. So now Chloe knows that Phenone doesn't have a Doomsayer. So I think I would just hop in here if I'm Chloe.
Just hop in!
Throw everything in. If she Lowest Ebbs here, she might be able to, like, surprise pop him next turn.
Yes, I agree. Because that Leroy PO is going to be super duper. And then, right when you least expect it, you throw down a Dr. Boom and say, you need to clear this, or just keep this in a perpetual state of being frozen. And if you've already popped them, they need to, like, Alex their face. Or kill you, you know? There's no other option at that point.
So if she had Lowest Ebbed him there, would she have been able to pop? If she had gone, like, Lowest Ebb, Voidwalker, 9... Yeah, she would have easily been able to pop him the following turn with Leroy PO.
But I think Chloebelle is just saying, you don't have a freeze.
And as it turns out, he doesn't. So
he does not. This is forcing him to Frostbolt the Sea Giant and not play Thaurissan. So this is actually a pretty risky move, but I think it'll be rewarded because if Phenone plays Thaurissan, Chloebelle pops, and if Phenone slams down the Frostbolt to freeze, does Chloebelle pop anyway? That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 10. No.
Actually, plus 11 because she can attack with both the things next to the wolf and then put the wolf or the Leroy next to the wolf.
Oh,
But
true.
but it's still no.
So that's 20 damage, and that is not enough. Phenone is struggling with the decision. Okay, throwing down the Emperor Thaurissan and coin ice lancing the Sea Giant. So actually, Phenone was able to do both.
I think that was the right play there.
That looked really solid because now Phenone is just discounting.
Oh, baby.
Oh. Well, in a stunning turn of events, who would have expected Warlocks to play even one Power Overwhelming in their zoo deck? I don't know, man. So Chloebelle could quite easily pop now. The decision is, do you trade off your Bran because you don't really want to give him 4 thingies? I don't think it matters.
Well, if you trade off your Bran, then you miss the pop, right?
Do you?
No, she can pop him exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you trade off the Bran, you're just giving them 2 less whelps. I don't know if that's worth. Maybe it's worth keeping the Bran around. I don't think it really matters. However, Phenone does have burst out
like
the...
The problem here is that if Chloe were to let him have like the massive amount of whelps, then that's like a lot of damage. So if he just had a block and then a bunch of burn. Oh, so she's going with the slow play here.
Okay, that's fine. I don't necessarily... I'm fine with the slow play, right? Because you cannot play a single spell. I'm just not a fan of the Voidwalker. I feel like, what if something came down that you wanted to maybe silence? I don't know. And you also wanted to play Leroy? I oftentimes find myself losing winnable situations against Freeze Mage when I flood the board too much and then I can't actually put down value minions. I just have little imps hanging around. But everything seems fine here.
What would she need to silence, though, on turn 8 when her opponent can't play any spells?
That's a good point. Very valid. Let's see. Okay, so how does Chloe decide to put Phenone at 1? There we go. Seems like a reasonable situation. Now Phenone really just needs Ross Nova Doomsayer to maybe lull himself into a false sense of security.
I
Nova Doomsayer Ice Block.
I disagree with that brand. Loetheb never attacked, right? So she could have just value traded the Loetheb into the Archmage, and then her board isn't full anyways because of the PO'd 1/1 going away. So
Yeah.
I think that would have been better than using the PO there, because she could end up, like, I don't know, the guy could have barriered here, and then she wouldn't have been able to pop, because Leroy can't get through barrier without the PO. So that could have been, like, the one way she loses there is, like, if he Blizzard and then barrier here.
That is true. However, that is not the case because Chloebelle is just rocking a Leroy Jenkins. Now, what I really, really, really want to happen is a top deck Peddler into Elven Archer into lethal. Please.
You think Chloe will BM? You think she'll go for the BM? That would be
I
rude.
don't know.
I hope
that
she
would,
does. Oh man.
That would be fantastic. Okay,
Come on,
that's not a
tap,
tap for it.
tap,
Tap for it. Come on.
tap. So fun.
Alrighty. So, Chloebelle is now up 2-0 with only Secret Paladin left. And Secret Paladin can, especially with Ragnaros, kill Freeze Mage and kill pretty much everything on that lineup of Phenone. Phenone is not looking to be in the best position, but reverse sweeps are always possible.
I think it's going to be hard for Chloe to get reverse swept here, but I do think that the Freeze Mage will get a win. I'm not sure if she has things like Ragnaros in her deck or what exactly her deck list is for Secret Paladin, so it could be more favored than the average Secret Paladin list, but I guess we'll see right now.
So far, it just seems like the standard, you know, the Creeper, the Muster for Battle, maybe drop the other two. Chloebelle also, oh, okay, drop the Muster. Let's see.
But if you love it, let it go, and it will return.
Yeah. Chloebelle now has the advantage of knowing that it is Freeze Mage, so I suppose she can mulligan slightly differently. Maybe she was looking for Challenger there. Alrighty, Phenone looks to have a much better hand this time around. Jeez, you know, you throw down your minions. By the time you're done throwing down your minions, you could actually just clear the board. Nice.
Yeah, that hand is pretty solid.
Yes, yes.
I dropped down that Acolyte here, because it looks like it's going to get a decent amount of draws.
I would agree with you there. And the 1-1 to the face, you are chipping Chloebelle down early here.
Oh man, if she had drawn Keeper there instead of this Blessing, that would have been way more punishing. But I guess this Blessing will have to do.
I suppose. Well, punishing of what, exactly?
Of the Acolyte, because the Acolyte only gets one card this way.
Oh, of just playing the Acolyte.
Yeah,
I thought you meant punishing of the Novice Engineer hitting the face, and I'm like...
No. Not at all. The Novice goes to the face there every time. Just because it does nothing into the Spider. The 1 damage could be significant if Alex Shaza never gets drawn.
Yes. No, Phenone is sitting nice here. I do notice that he does not play the more or less newer and more accepted archetype, which is known as Laughing Freeze Mage or Torch Mage, which does not have Archmage Antonidas and rather has Forgotten Torches in it. Now, I do think I saw a Forgotten Torch, but I see Antonidas, so it's clearly not that list. Maybe adjusted slightly. What are you thinking of the choice of having Antonidas?
I think that Laughing's list is the best list for this deck right now, which is a double Torch, no Antonidas, and then the Novices. But it looks like this is just like a mix of them both. So I don't know what exactly the Archmage brings to the table. I feel like it's a bit slow, especially in the current format. So I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't think that it hurts you like too much. So maybe he just likes the support of just being able to toss it down and be able to get the fireballs and have like the support of it, as opposed to just having to have a ton of burn and tossing it at your opponent's face.
Yeah, maybe he was used to hitting some slower decks, possibly. That might be a tech for some slower decks. I mean, hey, that's how you win against Control Warrior, right, Ginge?
I don't think you win against Control Warrior, even with the Antonitis. Like, you kind of just have to hope they don't draw their Shield Maidens and blocks, and then, like, just throw burn at their face and hope. I mean, that's how you beat them,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, that would make sense. So here, would you consecrate Punch, and then maybe just play Hero Power, or would you throw down the Keeper and trade off your 4/3? Very
That
curious. 'Cause,
sounds horrible. I think I would Cons. The Cons sounds way better. Just because you get to keep the
Okay.
4/3 on board, and the Keeper of Alderman lets you have an answer for something like Antonitis. Because, like,
Alright.
if he just trades in the 4/3 here and only has a Keeper, then, like, that just seems really weak. Like, you don't have any like power on the board. The Consecration isn't really going to do anything later in the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Always just have to entertain the possibilities, because you never know what the player themselves is thinking. Maybe they have their own individual line of play in plan. Phenone is not really too concerned. I wouldn't be too concerned. You know, you're slowly drawing all your bursts. You got your Antonitis. Even have your big Mama Pyroblast. And Chloebelle has not really been thrown down too much to pressure too hard. You have used Frost Nova and Doomsayer so far, so that is a little bit of removal you need to take into account that you don't have anymore. There's still Blizzard in hand, and I'm sure there's a Doomsayer somewhere else in that deck, so I wouldn't be too upset.
He really just needs to draw Alexstrasza, right? Like, that's the only thing that she's missing here.
Yeah.
He is getting to the point where he'll just be able to burn Chloe out without the Alexstrasza, but he's not quite there yet. And he really needs to get that block down soon, because it might get awkward if he, like, because, like, now he has Emperor, but he can't Emperor and block. So I guess he'll
Yeah.
Emperor this turn and then block Blizzard next turn, something like that.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Emperor will discount the Antonitis Frostbolt Icelands combo enough that you're actually able to Antonitis Frostbolt Icelands. So if Phenone does not draw, like, top deck Alex, which I don't think you would even play Alex if you top decked it, I think we might be able to see Phenone just throw down the Antonitis, play the Ice Block, play a Frostbolt, and play an Icelands. And
Yeah,
just
that-
start burning down Chloe.
That seems to be the move here. You definitely have to get blocked down, so it's a little unfortunate that you can't get that second Frostbolt in.
Yeah, but the good thing is you get to save your second Frostbolt in case you top deck another Icelands.
But it is getting to the point here where Phenone will either need to draw a block or a burn card soon, because otherwise he might just run out of burn, right? Like, even with the fireballs, he's going to be hitting for 3, 6... He's going to be hitting for 7 right now if he does the play we're talking about, and then he'll need to draw a block, right? Because he won't be able to do everything in one turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, he's just going to take it with the slower route here and play Blizzard. I think this is actually better.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Definitely not out of reach of a good play. I mean, hey, you're staring at just one shredder compared to a big ol' monster of a board you were looking at before. Tyrion is thrown down, and Phenone is kind of more so on the clock here, I'd say. It's a little bit more to worry about.
Oh, then that second block just seals the
okay,
deal
well,
here, I
never
think.
mind. Yeah.
I mean, I think even without that block, Phenone was going to be fine. As long as, like, he could have just, like, held on to, like, the burn for one more turn, and then next turn use Blizzard.
Yeah. Yeah, everything seems to be going well for the Freeze Mage. I mean, the plan is make it look like you're losing until you win. I don't know if you recall. Well, you probably recall, but I don't think the audience would know what we're talking about, so I'll explain. I actually, last season, I had quite a game. It was in my grand top 100 push, which I fell short for. I was playing Druid, you know, pretty favored matchup against Freeze Mage.
Oh, yes.
And I ran into this mage. You know, everything was normal. I comboed them down. I popped their block. They played another block. I popped that. You know, everything was looking fantastic. I'm sitting turn 10 at 29 health, right? They have maybe 7 or 8 cards left in their deck, and they have a pretty full hand. They throw down Blood Mage, Stalnos, and before I know it, I'm literally killed
that is
from 30
so unfortunate. I mean, it doesn't matter, just because Chloe will die anyways, but she can't actually swing with True Silver now, because she popped the block before attacking with it.
Well, you know Phenone has 3 fireballs if you're Chloe, so...
Well, I mean, I suppose. There's always hope, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just because she knows he has all the fireballs.
And at this point, if you're Chloe, you're not really too upset because you know the Druid is slowly coming up. That's your favorite matchup. But I think Secret Paladin can win one of 2 games.
I'd like to think that Secret Paladin could win 1 of 2 games here.
Yeah. I mean, well, Secret Paladin has to win 1 of 2 games because Secret Paladin is going to be played by both Phenone and Chloe. Ha-ha.
Very true. You got me there.
Nah. I'm definitely seeing a solid line of play from both these players. They did have to fight pretty hard to get to where they are. And after this is the finals. So the winner of this is playing for pretty much all the marbles. Whether you get 1 point or the chance at 3, which is actually a huge difference. I mean, you just win a tournament 3 times and you're in prelims. So it doesn't seem like a huge deal compared to 3rd or 4th. Except when you're looking at the points.
The mirror, so much fun. Oh,
so
Chloe's
skilled.
hand is about as bad as it gets.
Just about, yeah.
I guess it could
maybe
just be a bunch
Chloe.
of secrets.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of worse. Well, I don't know. Having a True Silver here, I oftentimes cut True Silver out of my deck, so you know I'm not a fan of having it in my hand, let alone my deck. That Knife Juggler is not terrible. Because there's not really a way to kill it. So you do have to trade off your Secret Keeper if you're a Phenone, or you just say, screw it, I'm going in. Mom, get the car, we're leaving. I'm hitting face.
That'd be really greedy.
That'd be so greedy.
I mean, like, cause then Muster can like really give it to you. But I might just go Dome, honestly.
Just straight to the Dome.
I mean, yeah,
really
because,
a tough
like,
choice.
Even a Muster isn't like that bad because you have the Avenge, and then you can just Cog Hammer next turn if the Juggler somehow if no, there's no way. There's no way you would trade here, right? Like you just go face every time.
I don't know. Do you ever disrespect the Juggler?
I think I would disrespect this Juggler massively hard.
I think it's a matter of moral standings. Like, does it feel right to disrespect the Juggler?
It's fine to me.
Ginge is on board with the face plan. A true smorker at heart.
I think I'd go face because, like, worst case scenario, I think Cog Hammer here is actually worse for known than a Muster. But then, like, you have your own Cog Hammer to put yourself back on top.
Yeah, and Cog Hammer isn't that terrible. Because, like, yeah, alright. I said it as if I was disagreeing with you, but I agree with you. That is exactly why Cog Hammer is not terrible, because you have your own. And Mysterious Challengers top decked, giving Phenone a tie with 2-2 in the series. No, just kidding.
It's a few turns early here. That guy's not supposed to come till turn 6 when things are looking bleak. But,
yeah. Well, it's good to know you have one. Always a good feel. I mean, there's not too much of a play besides Cog Hammer. I mean, get this, you really could Hero Power AFK. That is something you could do.
I think that Phenone is deciding whether or not he wanted to hit with the Secret Keeper first. There's some merit in that, but I think I like this.
I like this better because that Divine Shield is just going to get popped by the weapon anyway. So you're either taking 3 damage or you're taking 2 damage.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just take 2 instead of 3. Chloebelle is just holding literal bricks this turn. Great when turn 5 hits, but not ideal turn 4. What do you do?
You move 1 to the next game. There's really not much coming back from this. No matter what Chloe does here, Phenone can just Blessing hop in, and then you play Belcher, and then hopefully Phenone can just keep her trade, and then play Challenger, and everything's fine. So I don't really see a way out of this for Chloe, just because she's taking so much damage and doesn't really have a play here.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. There's really not too much. I mean, I'd be very surprised to see Chloe actually dip out of the game, but...
I mean, like, obviously, I think I'd honestly concede. Like, it's
just
clear
right,
on
too.
board. Like, he can just hit his face into the 1-1, and then Secret Keeper can just hit the face.
Now, why? Is this to trigger competitive sphere, maybe?
My browser actually just crashed, so I'm coming back in right now.
Okay. Well, for those of you, Ginge, who were not able to see what just happened, Phenone simply tested the waters by swinging weapon into face instead of killing the 1-1 and then 6-6 into face and just played a Secret Keeper and a Hero Power. That was an interesting line. Not necessarily the worst one, because that would be reasonable if you're testing for competitive spirit. It'd be fine to get on a 1-1, you don't really care then. And Phenone is still in an overwhelmingly dominant position here. Let's see. So, Phenone is able to clear off this 1-2 nicely, but no real answer for the 4-3. Not even the option to throw down your Shredder or anything of that sort. So, in what seemed like an overwhelmingly positive situation for Phenone, is starting to get turned on a little bit, because Chloebelle is able to pretty efficiently clear off a few minions and play Challenger, but that is not what Chloe decided to do. Never mind. This is still fine, I think. Ginge, you back in?
I am back in. I think I would have preferred to see Challenger come down there, because now this Challenger can come out of Pheone's hand, and he can put on a little bit of pressure, and then the turn after, like, Chloe is forced to play Challenger now, and then Phenone can just probably just kill Chloe.
Yeah. Rip. That's unfortunate. That was definitely the Noble Sack draw is just one saying, hey, you remember when you could have played your Challenger and not drawn me? You still could have drawn Noble Sack, but I feel like Challenger was definitely the play there, maybe the comeback play. But when you really think about it, Chloebelle is sitting at 12 health, and Phenone still has a Blessing of Kings in his hand. So if there was any coming back, you would need literal miracles inside cards, and I don't think Mysterious Challenger could have quite cut it. And so I believe that is game, and we're gonna see what we saw at the beginning of this match: Secret Paladin versus Druid.
And we saw the Druid come out on top the first time.
So can we see the Druid come out on top the second time?
I feel like Secret Paladin's favored, but Druid truly can't accomplish anything. So it should be a good game 5 here.
Interesting. Oh no, wow! I actually thought that that would be a competitive spirit, but it doesn't actually matter. You could. Oh, I thought you could just play Tyrion. Never mind. Okay, so Phenone doesn't actually have the win yet. Interesting.
He doesn't, but I mean,
it's pretty darn close.
He can get to a position where it's extremely hard to lose here.
Yeah, that was the position he was in last turn. I didn't actually think that Chloebelle had a chance to live there. But we've been kind of looking at that at a somewhat negative outlook the whole game, just because of how unfavored it looks. But hey, I mean, miracles can always happen. People can always play a little bit questionably, and games can always be won.
Oh man, this might be one of those games where they would have to DC to win, just because, like, I don't see how you don't kill Chloe next turn.
Yeah, that's a decent point. I mean, you swing that 1-1 as bait for the Noble Sack.
Is it just me, or does... Okay, well, the muster appears on my screen as a 0-mana 0/0 minion.
Oh, well, interesting. I don't typically play those in my deck. I usually play the spell muster for battle. But you could always play the minion if you want. That's fine. Does Chloebelle have
odd.
eye for an eye? Because that'd be fun. That'd just be entertaining. No. You know, I actually got taken out by, I may have shed a tear or two after this one. Someone had Sacred Trial. So I was like, oh, my Dr. Boom is gonna get Repentance. No, it got killed by Sacred Trial. I was like, what? That's a strictly better Repentance at the time. Yeah, well, we do see Phenone sneak in with the win with this very secret-oriented deck. You know, nice and quiet. Sneaky.
The secret.
Yes. Shh. Alrighty, now they are tied at 2-2 in a neck-and-neck race to see who gets to go into the finals of Tuesday Night Hype, number 68. It's going to be Druid versus Paladin, which, as we said before, Paladin is slightly favored, but if anything, at most, it's probably a 60-40, and Druid still has a decent chance to win the game. Thoughts, Ginge?
I mean, I think that the Secret Paladin is favored, but I think that the Druid can accomplish anything, as we saw in Game 1. I think it'll be a good game.
I agree. Now, do you think if the Druid is running Ancient of Wars, because I know some Druids have been doing that lately, do you think that gives Phenone a better or worse chance against Secret Paladin?
I actually am not sure. I have been favoring Ancient of Wars in my Druid recently. They're really hard to play early, just because they can get keepered. So you kind of have to wait until the Paladin's hand is running out of cards. But that's kind of how you win the matchup anyways, right? Like, you just run them out of stuff and then start taunting up and healing and taking the board. So I think that War is kind of another threat in that situation. So I guess it helps, but I don't think it makes too big of a difference what you're playing after they're out of steam. Just because if you can actually run them out of steam, then you win.
Exactly. So I guess it really doesn't matter what. Druid has the same sort of way to win, and that's to just run them out of steam, get them out of cards, which can easily be done if... Oh, I was going to say that in case Chloebelle didn't have a good hand, but oh, this hand. Oh,
You know, that's pretty good.
That is a good hand. I would definitely have to stand behind that one. But oh my golly gee.
Wow.
Have you ever seen two nuts fight each other? Like two peanuts or something? Which one's gonna be? It's just gonna be the nuts versus the nuts here. Oh man.
Only that Force of Nature was a living root, then we would really see the nuts.
I'll never tell.
Yeah, that was a living root. Come on now, we can't all draw all the nuts. You just gotta be happy with some of the nuts. I mean, if you get a, all right,
Got combo. He's got combo.
Nice
He
combo.
can just pop in.
Top
combo.
mine. Yeah. Like now, if you get a Thaurissan off the top, you just go 4, 5, 6 combo. Although it's probably not gonna be that easy.
And yeah, it probably won't be that easy, huh?
It might be. Don't ever count out Druid. What do you do here? I actually have not too much of a clue. If only you had 6 mana. If only there was a Druid card that would temporarily grant you 2 more mana for a 0 mana cost, then that would be a really spectacular line of play. But I don't
No
think
way
such
that Blizzard would
Druid
ever
card
pick
does.
such a ridiculous card.
Yeah. What am I thinking? Sorry. Let's see. So, now Chloebelle has a pretty decent way to take care of this keeper. Chloebelle actually gets to keep her board. Haha! Oh, that was a pun that Ginge did not laugh at. Swing and a miss. Alrighty.
So confused. What? Board?
I said board with a D. Keep her board. It's the female who gets to keep her board after killing the keep.